Welcome to the 2022 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame announcement show. Over the past 2 weeks, the card community has come together to highlight many awesome channels across the spectrum of our hobby to ultimately induct this year's class of 5 new channels to the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. I do want to say one thing before I get started with everything. This is all for fun, and the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame is a great thing. But in the end, there's only one Hall of Fame that matters, and that's God's Hall of Fame. If you ever want to talk about that and what I mean by that, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I love each and every one of you. Now, before this year's Hall of Fame class is revealed, I want to take the next 45 minutes talking about it just like they do the actual Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm kidding. I do want to highlight a few things before the reveal, though. First of all, the community participation was awesome this year. To be honest, I wasn't sure how the changes that I made would be perceived, and I didn't know how the involvement would be from everyone since I was a new commissioner, and I don't have the reach that many other channels have. However, true to form, the community did what it always does as a whole, and jumped right in on something we all see as a positive event year after year, new rules or new commissioner or not. So there were 96 video ballots cast this year, and a total of 136 different channels were nominated this year. There will be a link on this video to the Google Sheet where you can see the full results of this year's ballots if you would like. While only 5 of them will be inducted this year, gaining the ultimate honor, I do not want to overlook the fact that just being nominated by any of your peers is an honor in itself. Someone else took the time out of their day, not only to make a video and create content, but they mentioned you in that content. Someone thought enough of your channel to nominate you. Several channels also took the time to shout out additional channels as honorable mentions or future channels they will vote for when they are eligible, and I think that's awesome. I look forward to many more years of inducting class after class of great channels, and there won't be any shutout years as long as I'm around as commissioner. Now, the reason you all tuned into this video in the first place is to see who got in. I'm proud to say I watched every second of every ballot video this year. It was a ton of fun and a lot of work, but I'm proud to serve as the commissioner. Be sure to stay until the very end of this video, as I have a special announcement at the end that you won't want to miss. I will be announcing this year's inductees in order of the percentage of the vote that they received. The first channel to be inducted into the class of 2022 had an incredible 39 votes out of the possible 96, good for 40.63% of the ballot, which is the 6th highest percentage in YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame history. This channel is a great storytelling channel. He's a collector of all things vintage, especially centered around his favorites, Rod Carew and Jackie Robinson. He also shares stories from his own sports experiences, which even include his Arizona Cardinals upon occasion. I've met him personally, and I can say without a doubt that George is indeed a great person. So George, better known as Diamond Yard Sports Cards, welcome to the Hall. The next channel also cracked the top 10 in all time in voting percentages on this ballot, weighing in at 34 votes, good for 35.42%, which is 10th place all time currently. Along with Diamond Yard Sports Cards, this channel led the way as one of the top 2 from wire to wire in this year's voting. He's been mentioned several times as one of the first channels to ever do PSA reveals here on YouTube, and his channel's name used to reflect that. Despite a few name changes over his 8 years of making hobby-related content, his passion for collecting, his down-to-earth attitude on his channel, and his love for the community has never changed. The 49ers may not be celebrating right now, but Bart has a reason to, as he's the second inductee in the class of 2022. Bart's Cards, welcome to the Hall. The next channel inducted in this year's class received 32 votes, good for exactly 1/3 of the ballot, or 33.33%. I'm going to take a moment here to point out something, though. It's a great honor to be the commissioner of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The level of support I've received from this community event has been nothing short of great. I intend to hold myself to a very high standard to continue to oversee it the right way. I say that to say this: I would never do anything to hide, change, or distort the integrity of the ballot. Due to that, I must report the results as they are. My channel, Legends Never Die, received 32 votes to be the third channel to be inducted from this year's ballot. I am humbled to be elected by you, my peers, and it is my duty to report the ballot results as they happen. So simply, thank you all. Now, back to easier inductions for me to do. This next channel, the fourth channel inducted, it's been a long time coming. Receiving 29 votes in this year's ballot, he cracks the top 5 at number 4 here to finally get his due. He received 6 votes back in 2018, the first year of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The following year, he had 9 votes in 2019 and up to 12 votes in 2020. But he went back down to 8 votes last year in 2021. Just when he had momentum and we all thought he would get there, he took a step back. It might remind you of some of his favorite teams, the Jets and the Mets. Even though those two teams may or may not reach the promised land anytime soon, after 8 years on YouTube making hobby content, collecting 5-star autographs along with his favorite teams that I mentioned, Dave has finally reached the pinnacle. Better known by his channel's name, Dave's Midlife Card Crisis, I'd like to say, my man, welcome to the Hall. The fifth and final channel that will be a part of the 2022 class also had a high number of votes, coming in at 28, just behind Dave. Amongst this year's inductees, he has the highest subscription total with over 2,700 subscriptions. His collection is high quality, and that has been known for years, since he has been creating content for all of us to drool over for 8 years now. The YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame pundits will say that what finally put him in a position to be inducted is he was finally cited around the community and is no longer thought of to be the elusive Bigfoot. If you know, you know. You can catch him on videos with Silver Jackopi comparing their collections or showing off his incredible vintage Hall of Famers, especially of the Mick belonging to his Yankees. So Vince, you've made it. New York Yankees fan 7, welcome to the Hall. That completes the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame class of 2022. However, there are 2 more awards to hand out. The current enshrinees of the Hall of Fame vote on these 2 awards. First is the Joe Ryan Fan 30 Good Guy Award. I did not personally know Joe, but everything I've heard anyone ever say about him has been positive. He was always a positive and upbeat guy himself and was involved in the community, so it's a great honor to receive this award. The 2022 Joe Ryan Fan 30 Good Guy Award goes to a channel that I've interacted with on a personal level before. He is a content creator who needs to get back in the saddle, but constantly comments on videos throughout the community, who's quick to lend a hand for someone else or to send a care package. His favorite team may be Dem Bums, but this person is no bum in any sense of the word. It's my honor to announce Josh, Impact Player, as this year's winner of the Joe Ryan Fan 30 Good Guy Award. Congratulations, Josh. Secondly, the other award voted on by the current Hall of Famers is the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is given to a channel who has served the community for a long, long time. The 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award goes to a channel that is legendary in status, and everyone knows who he was if you've been around for any amount of time. He had a big impact on many channels throughout the community. He had an amazing collection, was incredibly generous, and was an outstanding person. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Ricky Russo. May he rest in peace. Now finally, I had mentioned I'd have a special announcement at the end of the video, and I'm adding something new to the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame event this year, and I hope it's a tradition that we can start. No, it's not a rule. Within the next week or so, from the time of the posting of this video, I want to have this year's class of inductees on a Zoom together to give a speech to accept their Hall of Fame induction. That shouldn't be an issue for any of them being on camera or anything like that, since they're all content creators already. So George, Bart, Dave, and Vince, I'll include my email in the description so that you can get in touch with me, and we'll set up a time in the next week or so to shoot a collaborative video together as you make your acceptance speeches on receiving this honor. I'll leave everyone with this. Thank you for participating. Thank you for recognizing so many great channels, both those who were elected this year and those that haven't been yet, and for celebrating this class of 2022. These guys deserve it. Thank you for watching. God bless.